welcome to I Run I Hike I Camp. My name is Jacqueline, and in today's episode we are going to be chatting about the true cost of renting a camper van in Ireland for 2 weeks. So let's grab a cuppa and let's get into it. Before we start, I'm going to put down a timestamp in the descriptions below so that you can jump back and forth within the video to whatever section that interests you most. So in September 2021, we rented a Fiat Ducato from Indie Campers in Dublin. It was the Nomad camper van from their selection. One of the many reasons we rented a camper van was to try before you buy type experiment. Okay, so just to give you a brief history for the viewers who have not seen our previous videos, in 2018 we went to the UK and bought a trailer tent, Conny, and embarked on several camping trips around Ireland. Now, prior to this, we had no camping experience whatsoever, but we loved it. We took to it like ducks to water. In fact, in 2018, when everybody else around the world and in Ireland was isolating at home and unable to travel due to restrictions, we had 9 camping weekends away in Ireland, all COVID restrictions compliant, of course. It not only gave us the option to travel, but it also gave us the option to travel on a budget. For example, where else are you going to get a night away for 25-30 euro, but on a campsite in Ireland? Recently, even though we love Conny very, very much, we feel it may be time to upgrade. We have wanted a little bit more freedom than what we have experienced with the trailer tent. With Conny, we feel we are unable to wild camp. So all of our holidays were pitching up tent in a campsite and then heading off to explore whatever the local area had to offer. So we want to explore the freedom of what a camper van has to offer. We want to park in wild camping spots or at an air, albeit airs are far and few between in Ireland. We felt a camper van would give us the freedom to allow us to see more of the countryside with all of our belongings in the back. We felt it would allow us to travel to park up the side of a street, make some lunch, use our own facilities, and after much needed break, we'd be on our way. It would allow us the freedom to travel abroad with our own accommodation, because this is what we want to do in the future. We also wanted to try living in a small space for 2 weeks to ensure that we can work easily, that we can live easily, and that we have enough space for cooking and just general living in total. Now that the history lesson is done, what is the true cost of renting a camper van in Ireland? We hired the Fiat Ducato from the Indie Campers for 2 weeks from the 11th of September to the 25th of September 2021. And the total cost of rental was €2,160 for 14 nights, or €129 per night for 14 nights. This included 1,400 kilometre mileage. There is an extra charge for anything over this mileage. However, customers have the option to add extra mileage or kilometres before their trip or during the booking process. For example, if you want to get a package with unlimited mileage, it will cost an extra €25.90 per night. Driver's insurance is covered in the cost of hiring the camper van as well. There is security deposits. This is payable at pickup. So there are two types of security options. A security option of €2,000 or a lesser deposit, but the nightly rate is more expensive. We chose to go with the €2,000 deposit. This deposit is reimbursed to you at the time of returning the van, as long as there's no damage done. All damages will be deducted from the security deposit. Despite being very, very, very careful not to damage anything within the van, 2 days before we were due to return the van, I broke the glass cover over the sink and it smashed into a million pieces. So this was deducted from our deposit, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. There are insurance companies that will insure your security deposit. These insurance policies are called Motorhome and Campervan Hire Excess Insurance Policies, which means if something happens, like breaking a glass cover, for instance, or losing your van keys, these policies will cover the cost of the broken glass or the cost of the loss of the keys, and you will receive the full amount of your security deposit back. Please note though that this is a different insurance policy than your normal motorhome or camper insurance. I didn't do my research on this until after the event. Lesson learned. But I'll leave a few links to these companies in the descriptions. They're really handy to know. After paying the cost of the rental and the security deposit, the next expense is diesel. When we picked up the camper van, it was 3/4 full of diesel, and they ask you to return the van with the same amount of diesel in it. Including this fill, we filled up 4 times during our travels. In September 2021, the average cost of diesel was €1 and €1.40 per litre. Therefore, it worked out around about €320 for 4 fills of diesel, and we did 1,500 kilometres. After that, the rest of the expense is up to you. For example, it is possible to wild camp for the entire 2 weeks around Ireland. The only thing you need to keep in mind is filling up with water, getting rid of your waste and emptying your toilet. It is possible to do this in areas around the country, albeit they are few and far between. There are campsite owners that are happy for you to use their facilities for a few extra euro, of course. We decided to stay a few nights throughout the 2 weeks in different campsites around Ireland. The reason for this was because we wanted to dispose of our waste properly, plus I also needed to work and I wanted to use the Wi-Fi on the campsites. So the grand total for the 2-week campervan hire in September 2021 was €2,680. This included €180 for the cost of replacing the glass that I broke, and also we travelled 100 kilometres over our mileage allowance, and they charged us €100 for that. So it was €80 for the glass cover and it was €100 for the extra mileage. So what's next for us? Conny is for sale, lads. We are going to buy our very first camper van or motorhome. We're not entirely sure what we want yet or what our budget will allow. We have a budget in mind, but it has already been said to us that in reality, when shopping for our first motorhome, our budget will have to increase by 20%. We don't have a layout in mind. I work remotely, so it would be our intention to travel and work while on the road. So ideally, my perfect layout would be to have a rear shaped lounge with a drop down bed at the front or at the back. I would also like to have more prep space when cooking, because one of the issues I found when we were hiring the camper van, there wasn't enough prep space, so hence why the glass cover broke. We did consider converting a van into a camper van, but for us that's not a reality. We both work full time, we have a farm, and we just don't have the time to put it into a project like that. Over the next few videos, we will be viewing camper vans and motor homes in dealerships in Ireland, but we may also consider buying abroad and importing something into Ireland. If we do so, we will share the price of that purchase, the VAT price, the VRT price, price of shipping, price of travel, whatever we come across, we will share with you. But for now, we want to say a huge thank you to all of our viewers. You send us such fabulous comments and messages, and it really gives us a boost to receive those lovely messages. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we will see you on the next one.